Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to make this crystal sky necklace. Some simple materials, an easy pattern, just a little bit of time, and you'll have your own. Remember, if you need any materials, look below the video in the description, and we'll put links there to get everything in your full list of supplies. Gather up your materials, and let's get started. Okay, so to do this necklace, we are going to be using 3 beads. It's nice and simple, along with crystals. So we have just some GemDuos, some SuperDuos, 11 seed beads, and then we're pulling in some crystals in 3mm bicones. You can use 2s, 3s, or honestly even 4s for this as well, so it's nice. I have a size 11 beading needle with some size 6 dragon thread in the white color. I'm going to be putting a clasp garden push clasp on here along with some wire guards. And to do this pattern, we are going to start out with our beads here, making some little piles and then getting ready with our beads here and with our thread. I have about 5 feet of thread to start. Going to put a stop bead on. Take your bead, drop it down to the base of your thread, take your needle back through it. And because this is a bracelet where we're just going in one direction, you want to leave yourself a good amount at the end. That's going to allow you to put on your clasp without having to add thread. From here, make your little piles of beads and we'll get ready to get started. Do you want to get over $100 of premium beads for only $34.99? The new and improved PotomacBeads treasure box is a beautiful assortment of high quality beads featuring both classic and new materials. As a monthly subscriber, you'll save up to 60% off retail prices. Get your treasure box subscription today for only $34.99 and $100 worth of beads. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscribe or click on the link in the description. Okay, so I have my stop bead on here and we're actually going to begin with one of our GemDuos. The GemDuo that we're beginning here with, we're going to make it so that the flat side is down, the rounded side is towards the top, and we're going to let that fall down to our thread. I want you to add 4 beads on the side of the GemDuo of your 11 seed beads, and these are a silver lined light sapphire. If you need the details, remember they're in the description underneath me here, and you can click on that and that will get you links to all these products. Those 4 beads go on and you go through the second hole. 4 beads go on to cover the other opposite side, and then you're going to sew back through the 4 beads that you added along the side here, through your GemDuo. And as you sew through the GemDuo, give a nice tight pull because you want those seed beads to kind of sit on the side. And now we're going to begin our rotation. The rotation that you're going to begin a lot, and the pattern is 1 11 1 SuperDuo, 11 bicone, 11 followed by a SuperDuo, followed by an 11 and a second GemDuo. The GemDuo I'm picking up from the bottom left corner and coming out the top right of the left side there, so that way it's facing the correct way. Another 11 SuperDuo, 11 crystal, 11 SuperDuo, 11 So there's an 11 between every single bead that's on here. Take that and let that fall back next to your GemDuo. You're going to sew through the same hole that your thread is currently coming out of through the opposite side. Nice tight pull there, and we're going to sew back through the beads leading up to our second SuperDuo. So go back through the 11 seed bead, sew through the SuperDuo, the 11 crystal 11, and come out through that second SuperDuo. We're going to step up now from the first hole to the second hole of the SuperDuo, which is the outside. Nice tight pull on the thread to tighten up anything extra. 11 SuperDuo through the second hole of the next one. 11 SuperDuo through the second hole. So we're connecting all 4 of these SuperDuos, that second open hole, because we only went through 1 on the initial row here, with an 11 seed bead between each. I'm now going to take, now that they're all connected, I'm taking my thread and needle back through all the way around now through all of those, through the 11, through the SuperDuo, through the 11, all the way back around till we get to, once again, that second SuperDuo. The thread went up that second SuperDuo, now we're going to go down that second SuperDuo into the bottom hole. Nice tight pull on the thread, never the needle, and that gets you that pretty little floral design. From here, go through the 11-0 into your GemDuo, and now we're going to decorate the sides. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of your 11-0s, 5 if you're doing 15-0s, through the GemDuo, another 4 on the opposite side, back up to the top hole of the GemDuo. Like we did at the starting GemDuo, you're going to take your needle and thread through all 4 of those 11-0 seed beads that you just added, and then out through the second hole of the GemDuo. That is it. So once again, the pattern is 11 SuperDuo, 11 crystal, 11 SuperDuo, 11 GemDuo. Make sure your GemDuo is facing so that the top is facing up always. 11 SuperDuo, 11 crystal, 11 SuperDuo, 11. Back through that second hole of the GemDuo. Work your way over, back through the beads you just added. 11 SuperDuo, 11 crystal, 11 out the second SuperDuo. You're going to once again go from the inner hole of that SuperDuo to the outer hole of that same SuperDuo. And now you're connecting that second hole of your SuperDuos with an 11-0 between each hole. That creates that grouping of 4, which sits in that little tiny floral unit here of this something blue. Once you have that last seed bead in and you're coming out that same SuperDuo, you could, if you want to, go right down into that same SuperDuo, but I like to reinforce by going back through. That tightens it up. It does sit a little three-dimensional here, that your little quad unit of SuperDuos sits almost like a little basket at the top here. Once you get back around and give that nice tight grab, you're going to go to the bottom of your SuperDuo, through the 11, through the GemDuo, into the next unit. And that's it. We're just on repeat. It becomes a really, really beautiful set that you can do a bracelet, a necklace, or even do some drops to create an earring. Once you have your necklace complete, it's time to put on the end. And you can see how I'm using the end here, and I'm gonna have my little crystal ball on the other side. That way, if it flips to the front, that becomes part of the focus as well. I put on my needle and thread 2 of my 11-0 seed beads, followed by 1 of my SuperDuos, followed by 2 11-0 seed bead, and then I'm bringing my thread back down through this wire guard or wire guardian. Going in and adding my crystal ball there, which is the other side of my clasp guard and clasp, letting that hang out inside the wire guard. I'm going to add 1 and 2 more 11-0 seed beads. If you want to expand it a little bit more too, and you can put a crystal 2 on the sides. Going back through then that last one of the GemDuos. Nice tight pull. You want to make sure there's no extra thread showing there. We're going to go back up through the seed beads, back up through the SuperDuo, back up through the clasp and the wire guard. Because anytime you do a design and you have your ends that are going on, you always want to make sure you at least have 2, preferably 3 threads going through your wire guard. And then after you have that reinforcement there, again, make sure that it's going through the wire guard there and that it's not popping out the side. You're going to go back into the design and sew back, oops, I lost my needle there. Sew back into the design, kind of weaving it around in the thread there. And then you're just going to burn off your thread ends, and that finishes up your design once you weave that through there. This one is really pretty again because although it's a necklace, you can use it as anything. So you can use it as a beautiful bracelet. You can use it as an anklet. And the curvature is really nice for any of those uses as well, or even make a little pattern of it for a simple drop earring, maybe even do a little briolette at the end. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this Crystal Skies necklace. Can't wait to see what you guys make with this design and all the fun things that go along with it. Remember, if you want to post your designs in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, we'd love to see them, and so would our community members that are maybe thinking about different colors. As always, hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for joining, everyone, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.